So lovely to see everybody. So I'm here as Edify Business, and we have a proposal in the products and integrations part of Fund10, and that's really done with Decipher, who are the people who are all very smart. My job is to make the tea, but we'll move through that as we go along. So this one is about migrating a product that we already have onto the Cardano blockchain, and then perhaps moving that through to a Web 2 or Web 3 solution, so that we can then scale it up and take it out to more and different organizations, universities, enterprises, small, medium, large businesses. And for some reason, then I can't get, I know, because I put it on present, I can't get the button to work, so I'm going to have to do it one by one. So who are we then? So it's Edify Business. And we've been running proposals as our sort of on-chain expression, which is Edify Collabs, since Fund10. And our purpose really is to help super smart peeps like the developers within Catalyst, but also other organizations that understand the challenges of exponential growth, and they're going through their innovation-led, they're off-chain or on-chain, but they're community development focused, impact driven, and they're capable of exponential organizational growth. That's the EXO bit. So proposals we've got in Fund10, there's several of them. They're all around education or learning. This one then, as we said, is the finding out what's going on in your organization in terms of understanding your full value. And that's what this is about, full value toolkit, exponential organization. We've been running this program for about 10 to 15 years now, one way or another. And we run it in lots of other organizations that are off-chain. What's it all about? It's about measuring true value. So we measure value, and this is globally, we still measure value in a way that's sort of pretty much out of date. It began with industrialization, and it doesn't work anymore. How is it done in the past? You only worry about things that you can kick. So those are things, assets that you can buy and sell, and people or things that you can see and accountants can kick and put in their books. So the focus then is commercial. Context is about making money, and it's income today. Smart organizations then spin that up, and they start to talk about how can we build and buy machines, how can we spin up assets that make it easier to make stuff tomorrow than it is today. And that's all very nice, but what's the problem? So tangible assets, as the accountants call them, are only worth, say, 16, 20, 30, 40% of the value of a business when it's sold. So if you sell a business for 10 million, only $2 million shows up on the balance sheet. And then people say, yeah, okay, so what? Why does that really matter? Well, it's a bit like driving your car down a busy city street and you can only see through 20% of the windscreen. And that means you can't manage your assets. You can't manage your people, because 80% of your assets then are people, and people delivered things. And that's the issue. So what do we do then? We have a system that measures both the tangible assets that are measured by money and the intangible assets that are measured by well-being or by contentment, and they're run by intent as opposed to a commercial vision. So we built that as a dashboard, and as I say, it has a commercial lens, which is about organizational strategy, commercial operations, and it has a cultural lens, which is more about things like leadership and culture and knowledge management and communications and talent management. And then in a day-to-day space, it's about how people perform. As I say, we've developed that over the last sort of 10 to 15 years, really. And in that time, then what we've also done is then, particularly as we get now into these exponential challenges, we spun that into an exponential space. So what does that mean? How to deal with exponential challenges, how to manage exponential opportunities, and scale your organization 5, 10x. The clients we've got, there's lots of off-chain ones. And as I say, we've been very lucky. We've had about probably 8 or 9 funded proposals since Catalyst F7 now in different areas covering this off. But this product, this bit about being able to measure the full value, the total value of an organization, is the core of what we do. So what's the next part of the gig? as I said, this proposal is really around us being able to build a tool that we can run on the blockchain, run decentralized, but it will operate not just with guys who are inside Catalyst or people we want to bring into Catalyst, which is outside in, but also outside out, which means this is a proper global tool. When we load this up and we get it running, we build massive communities. We can spin out data engines. We can do a load of fantastic stuff. But the gig is, this one is aimed at mass adoption, and it will bring developers and other people onto the Cardano platform. And the sad thing about this is if we don't do it well, we will do it, but other people like accountants will do it as well, but they will run it centralized and you will have to pay to fit their system. So what's it all about? So at the base level then, as we're saying, really, we've got an Excel based spreadsheet that we use and audit different sorts of organizations with, which is fabulous. The problem is then we can't build community from it very easily, and we can't do big data sets, and we can't mine things. We can't get into all the clever stuff that we should do. So level one then is around perhaps in a Web 2 or an app-based solution that allows us to start to build that next level interactivity and community and NFT accreditation, all those sorts of wonderful things. But the driver is to get it to a Web3 solution, because then we can start to build proper data sets at a global scale of information that's not currently available because no one's worked out how to produce it. And that's all good. That's all fun. And that's the part we put out to have Decipher help us build. And they'll be building the W2 stuff to say, this is the wonderful things about features and benefits that that'll bring. This is the partner then for Decipher. They're the clever people. We make the tea. But the big picture stuff for us is we work in integrated and in parallel. And in that space, then when we work in our space, the dashboard is the core tool we use to measure the value of an organization today, and then set the vision of where it wants to be, and then set the program of how it's going to get there. That's the dashboard. The coaching program then is us over time delivering that. The next level IP we can build is we can coach other coaches and consultants to use our IP to run it in their own space. And then we can work with enterprises and organizations to use this tool to build it out in their own private, particularly when AI is kicking off now, their own private enterprises, their own communities of interest. So as we said, Excel spreadsheets to some sort of app solution to a DApp solution. And when we get to the DApp stuff, it gets really exciting. And we're moving into this new business models that people haven't really got their heads around yet.
Harry, you're a bit
There
out
we
of
go.
time. If you can wrap it up, please.
We are wrapping it up right now, Philip.